All right, we're going to talk about areas of a triangle using matrices. This is part 3. This will be the last one that we go over today for this week. Example 1, I'm going to show you. A triangle has vertices -1, 2, 3, 2, and 3, 0. Now, I made this one a right triangle so you understand how we could do this one by hand without using matrices. Then I'm going to show you using matrices you can get the same answer. So I plotted the points -1, 2, 3, 2, and 3, 0. You can see this is 2, this is 4. And we know the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height, and 1/2 times 4 times 2, it's 4 units squared. But if I wanted to use matrices, all I do is put the coordinates here, -1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 0. And then I write ones in the last column. That's the matrix. And we need to find the determinant to find the area. So I repeat the first two columns, -1, 3, 3, 2, 2, 0. And then to find the determinant of a 3 by 3, we haven't gone over that yet. But the same way, we multiply going this way. So -1 times 2 times 1, which is -2. 2 times 1 times 3, which is 6. And then 1 times 3 times 0 is 0. And we add those up, and we get 4. And then you just subtract going the other way. That's the only difference here. You subtract going, well, you did that with a 2 by 2, but not to this point where you got to add those as well. So 3 times 2 times 1, which is 6. Then 0 times 1 times -1 is 0. 1 times 3 times 2 is 6. And we get 12. So 4 minus 12 is -8. So that's the determinant of that matrix. So how you find the area is then you divide it by 2, but it has to be positive. That's why I have the absolute value there. So absolute value of -8 divided by 2, which is 4. Okay, and I'll go over another example here. The triangle has vertices of 4, 6, 0, 2, and then 10, -4. The first thing we got to find is the determinant of the matrix of 4, 6, 0, 2, 10, -4. It has to be a square matrix. That's why we put the ones in the last column. Always ones in the last column. It has to be a 3 by 3, okay, when we're finding the determinant of the vertices of this triangle. So if we want to find the determinant, that's another way we'd write that. 0, 2, 1. And then we rewrite the first two columns. So you rewrite the vertices here. And now we're going to multiply this way. Starting always in the top left-hand corner, we get 4 times 2 times 1, which is 8. And we keep adding, going in the same direction. 6 times 1 times 10 is 60. 1 times 0 times -4 is 0. So we get 68 going in that direction. Then we're going to subtract going the other direction after we add them. So we do 10 times 2 times 1, which is 20. -4 times 1 times 4 is -16. And then 1 times 0 times 6 is 0. And if we add those up, we get 4. So when we calculate that, that's 64. That's the determinant. So now the area of the triangle is the determinant of the matrix. We'll call this matrix B. Absolute value of that divided by 2. Well, this one's positive, but it could come out negative like the previous one. So 64 divided by 2, the area is 32 units squared. I'm going to show you how you could also do this in the calculator. Go back to the first example. If I just want to find the area of those vertices, all I do is type the coordinates in. I'm going to go to matrix. I'm going to go edit matrix B, okay, and I'm going to type in the vertices, -1, 2, and then 1 always in the last column, and then 3, 2, 1, and 3, 0, 1. Quit, get a clear screen. Second matrix, math, determinant. Okay, then we go select matrix A, or I'm sorry, matrix B is what we select, and we get -8, and we divide it by 2. And again, the area has to be positive, so it's positive 4 like we also calculate. So it's much easier in the calculator, but we got 4 units on that one. Okay, the determinant was -8. So now the next one, I'll show you on the calculator as well. All right, there's only one example on this, but I know I'm going over this in detail. All right, so calculator, those are the coordinates. So second matrix, I'm going to edit matrix B, 3 by 3 again, 4, 6, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, -4, 1. And then I'm going to go to determinant. So I got to go back to matrix, math. First one is determinant. Then I got to go select the matrix, which is B. Oh, I typed it in wrong. 4, 6, 1, 0, 2, 1. Not 0, but 10. I must have missed that 1. Now, let's go back here. I'm just going to select matrix B. No, let's do it again. Second, matrix, math, determinant. And then select matrix B. And you get 64 like we got, if you remember, right there. And then we divide it by 2 to get the area, and it's 32 square units. All right, that's enough for area. The assignment is going to look like this. Okay. Same examples I did in the first couple videos, and it's going to say, what is the value of Z23? Well, we're going to multiply C by A. I did that example in video 1, so go ahead and look at video 1, and you'll have your answer. Okay. Now, the matrix Y is multiplying matrix B by E. So we could go ahead and do that. So B is 7, 1, -3, 2, 0, 6, multiplied by E, 0, 1. This is going to be easy because there's a lot of zeros, and we know we multiply by 0, and we get a 0. So we multiply rows by columns, if you remember. So this is row 1, row 2, and then we multiply these columns. So we can multiply these. This is a 3 by 2. This is a 2 by 3, and this is a 3 by 2. So since those inner dimensions are the same, we can multiply it. All right, so we're going to multiply rows by columns. So this row by this column. And that's going to go in row 1, column 1. 7 times 0 is 0. And we keep adding. Then we go next one, 1. Then we go to next one in the column. 1 times 1 is 1 plus -3 times 0 is 0. We know our result is going to be a 2 by 2. It's the outer dimensions. So the first column, first row is 1. Okay. And in reality, they only want you to find the second row, second column. So this is really the only one we need to do. So I'm going to go right to that. So all you do is multiply row 2 by column 2. So I'm going to do that right now. Row 2 by column 2. 2 times 1, which is 2. 0 times 0, which is nothing. And 6 times 3, which is 18. So we get 20 for that answer. Okay. We already talked about the determinant. You shouldn't have any other questions on this worksheet. They're going to ask if you could add. We know if we can't. We can only add if they're the same matrix. And can you multiply? Again, you can only multiply if the inner dimensions are the same. You could also use a calculator to do all this work. And the last one was the area of a triangle that I talked about already in the previous problem. All right. Well, great. Good luck with the assignment. You have a great day.